As we move through this course, we'll become familiar with Angular 2's most useful features and find answers to questions like, what is an Angular component? How do we display Angular stuff on a web page? What are Angular 2 services and why should we use them? How do we use data binding in Angular 2? How is Angular 2 code compiled? This course was designed to present Angular 2 with the most efficient yet effective learning path. In the course, we'll focus on core concepts and attempt to ease Angular 2's learning curve with practical advice and coding exercises aimed at putting this new information into perspective. As we begin our study, let's take a look at Angular from 10,000 feet, where we can see that fundamentally, Angular is a JavaScript framework, and it's used to build mobile and web applications. And Angular is coded in HTML, CSS, and a programming language such as JavaScript, TypeScript, or Dart. These features and more have made Angular so appealing to thousands of developers across the globe. Why should we consider Angular and not one of the other many JavaScript frameworks available to us? Well, Angular makes HTML more expressive. It extends what HTML can do with features like if conditions, for loops, and local variables. Angular has powerful data binding. We can easily display fields from our Angular data model, track changes, and process updates from the user. Angular promotes modularity by design. Our applications become a set of building blocks, making it easier to create, test, and reuse content. And Angular 2 has built-in support for linking to back-end services. This makes it easy for web applications to integrate with a back-end service like REST to get and post data or execute server-side functions. With qualities like these and many more all wrapped into a well-supported, well-documented, and well-designed package, it's easy to see how Angular's popularity exploded when it came onto the scene just a few short years ago. With the massive success of Angular 1, why did they come out with Angular 2? Angular 2 is focused on speed. It has faster initial load times, faster change detection, and improved rendering in the browser. Angular 2 is up to date by implementing features of the latest JavaScript standards and beyond, including classes, modules, and decorator annotations. Angular 2 leverages new web component technologies for building reusable user interface widgets and provides backfill libraries so nearly any and all new and legacy browsers are supported. Or, more simply said, Angular 2 works in any browser. Angular 2, as compared to Angular 1, provides a simplified API. It has fewer built-in directives to learn, simpler data binding, and fewer concepts to learn. And Angular 2 enhances productivity. Obvious patterns for productivity emerge from Angular 2 as modularity, reuse, and developer workflow have been refined and/or improved. Let's look at the structure of an Angular 2 application. An Angular 2 application is composed with a set of components and is usually backed by services that tie those components together. What is an Angular 2 component? A component in Angular 2 is a set of files that work together. One file is a template which contains the HTML for the user interface fragment and creates a view in the application. Another file contains the component's backing code or class, or for lack of better terms, the code that provides the view's functionality. This class contains the data structures used in the view and functions that respond to actions in the view, such as a button click. An Angular 2 component also contains metadata in its code, which provides additional details about the component, including actually defining a class as an Angular component. All in all, a component is a view defined with a template, its backing code defined with a class, and additional details defined in metadata. We will be focusing on each of these three concepts in much more detail as the course progresses.